Okay, welcome back to the Caribou Media Outdoors podcast. With me tonight is Gary Baldwin from the Full Draw podcast. What's going on?
This is it, brother. Happy to be here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's
this is
taken
great.
far too long.
Well, I've been too busy listening.
Yeah.
Man, you're pumping them out. It's great.
Yeah, I kind of took off like wildfire at the beginning because I was sending out messages to people, and I obviously knew I would get you guys no problem, but I was just trying to see, how many can I kind of drum up. And it was just like almost everybody responded. It was like overwhelming. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I've been loving the stories, getting everybody to give a hunting story, getting everybody to kind of do the beginnings in archery. Like it's great to hear how such a diverse group can all share one common enjoyment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's kind of twofold. I always love finding out where people start, and then it's always nice. Storytelling was always the first form of entertainment, sitting around a fire.
For sure.
And everybody loves to hear a good story. So I always see if people have a good story to tell. And yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
So.
And you're getting some big names, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, it's awesome.
It's great. I just think that everybody loves talking about this stuff, right?
Well, yeah, and I think that's really what it all boils down to is like, even though we all have different careers and we're all doing like just different lifestyles, like this one thing, it seems like we've all just been like, you know what? I don't care who you are. You like that? I like it. Let's talk about it. You want to go do some of it?
Yeah. And that's what I've been finding. And it's it's just been it's been wicked. I mean, some people I think were a little cautious at the beginning because I hadn't released anything yet, and they're like, what's this guy all about?
Yeah, that is the tricky part. I remember when we started Full Draw and we were a little bit into it, and even then when we asked a couple people to come on, they were kind of like, you guys are on like episode 6.
Yeah.
Like maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Come back to us next year. We'll see how you're at.
Yeah. See if you're still doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, right? And I mean, you look at it like as many podcasts as there are, and there's like
so many,
6.5 million or something worldwide.
Crazy.
The majority of them, like the vast majority of them, if they just had a little bit more consistency, like just be putting stuff out on a regular schedule. It doesn't mean you have to go once a week or even once every 2 weeks, but just be regular.
Yeah. Keep it on some kind of a schedule. Yeah.
It's a huge difference.
I was trying to do one a week and it was working, but then I found that I was getting almost too many. Like where it was, if I talked to you today, it wasn't going to come out till June, and that's not. That doesn't always work, right? Like it's almost too big. So that's why I've been trying to dump 2 a week, not forever. It'll probably be just till it gets to
just to get caught up.
This is a little more comfortable now. I can kind of, so you're not sitting on them forever, but it's been overwhelming, which has been
it gets tricky because then you can be like talking about a topic, like you might talk about a new product.
Yeah, it's not new anymore.
When you actually put the episode out, you're like, wait a minute, didn't that come out like 2.5 months ago or something? Like
or you're talking about new arrows that you haven't got yet, and then when it comes out, you've
already shot them
second batch or something. Oh, that's funny. So let's go back in time a little bit. So when did you first pick up a bow, and how did that kind of turn into hunting for you? Or actually, maybe we should start even before that. When were you first introduced to hunting? Because I know in Newfoundland, you guys were rifle hunters, right?
First introduced to hunting was like, I had to be able to walk. Seriously. So
I'm not carrying you. You got.
I have a little bit of a different story as opposed to CJ.
Yeah.
So we grew up in different houses.
Okay.
So my old man that raised me up until high school, because that's when I met my biological father, which is CJ's adopted father.
Okay.
I know it's a thing. We don't have family tree. We have like a hedge. It just kind of keeps going sideways.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that was basically the rule that my mom put on him for bringing us in the woods. We had to be fully under our own power.
Yeah.
Like
muscular strength. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so I think I'm pretty, like, we were always in the woods regardless, whether it was camping or canoeing, whatever it was. We were very much an outdoors people. But my first hunting experience, I would say I was like 6 that I can like really remember. Yeah, I think I was around 6 years old. And so my dad was and still is an excessively avid moose hunter.
Mm.
To the point where he'll go and talk to all of his really old friends who still want meat but can't physically go in the woods anymore and hunt, and they'll get the legal permission for him to hunt their tag.
Right.
So he's out knocking down like a dozen plus moose a year.
Freelance for hire.
Pretty much. Pretty much. He's just like, yeah, I'll just take a meal.
Case of beer.
Well, because his fridge is already full, right?
They're all right. Yeah.
So it works out great for him. He gets to go in the woods. He gets to do what he loves doing. And all his old buddies that can't hardly walk anymore, they still get their freezer filled up.
That's good.
So hunting was always huge. I mean, when it came time for hunting season, there were times where it could be 2 weeks and I wouldn't see the old man.
Mm.
Between him working and going in the woods, because he used to work the 4 to midnight shift at pulp and paper mill.
Okay.
So I'd be in bed already by the time he got home, right?
Mm.
So there was always that experience with him. We only ever used maybe a quad. That was the only real vehicular assist.
Right.
He absolutely detests road hunting.
Okay.
Like viciously hates it. Would rather walk 14 kilometers a day every day than be in the truck for 30 minutes. Like,
get out of the fucking truck. Start walking.
Pretty much, yeah. He had a compound bow. He come across one. His buddy gave him one when I was about 11. And I mean, I don't know what this thing was at. I couldn't even move the string back then. And it was right-handed. So obviously doesn't work for me. I know, lefties unite.
Lefties unite.
But
are you fully left-handed or are you left-eye dominant? And
I am left-eye dominant and left-handed.
Okay. So you're full blown.
But because I am now a middle-aged guy like you, when I grew up in Newfoundland, in the Catholic school system, they very much tried to train left-handedness out of you. Oh yeah. I got that meter stick across this hand so many times.
Devil hands.
So I'm actually quite ambidextrous, and it's weird because I think as I've been training my right hand to do things, I'm also I think I might be training myself to look at things right-eyed as well.
Okay.
Because I can pick up a right-handed bow and I'm not on, but I'll hit the target.
You have to close an eye?
No, I'll just leave them both open.
Yeah.
It's strange. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't think. Well,
but I definitely do better left-handed.
I think I've only tried one right-handed bow, and it was the first time I shot one. My friend brought it over the house, and I lost all his arrows because they all missed the target.
Now I think if you were to try one now, knowing what you know about archery now and having both eyes open and all of those things, I think you would you'd be hitting foam at least. You know what I mean?
Right. So 6.
Right. Back to the story about the hunting.
You're walking.
We're walking all the time. Yeah. I never ever saw him actually take an animal with that bow. I don't know what kind it was. I know it was actually camouflage.
Yeah.
So it was like a real tree or a mossy oak, something, right?
Have like brass, like 3 brass pins as a sight.
No. This was
No?
not traditional. This was an actual compound.
Okay.
I believe it might have. Like, it's making me think back to like solo cam days.
Okay.
Kind of the old switchbacks too, maybe something of that like design, that body style. And then I got a little bit older, and in high school, we started doing archery in gym class because they were curious about setting up an archery program at the school. So I was like, yeah, I'll give that a try.
Sure.
Because I was expecting a compound bow in camouflage and everything to come out, right? And here, again, very similar to your story, the $25 red fiberglass jobby that's ambidextrous.
Yeah,
What's get handed to you.
I bought one at a pawn shop. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh yeah,
I gotta get one." And I fell in love with it. They set out a whole bunch of balloons for us, and I was just like, "Wow, this is the coolest thing in the world."
That flight of the air, watching that arrow go.
Oh yeah, everything was just like amazing. And I think we were maybe like 15 yards in the gym, something like that. Program didn't end up taking off. So it never happened, as normally does in small town Newfoundland. There's just not enough money, right?
Yeah, it's like ours too.
Yeah, so, but then after high school, I went off and joined the military and spent 15 years moving from as far west as you can get all the way back east.
Wow.
And then when I ended up back in Newfoundland again, I was in my really early 30s. And that's really when the hunting started to, like, my own personal hunting. Because the old man would never let me. You can be here. You can come. You can help.
You're not shooting.
But you just be quiet and move slow, or you're going back to the camp.
Observe.
Yeah, pretty much. Real good at panching them. No sweat there. We'll quarter them up, lickety split. I'm good at that. But yeah, so that's when the hunting really kind of took off. So me and brother used to do a good bit of hunting for sure. I remember we spent a whole month floating around every single day for a month, and we just got stonewalled. It was like the first time that we really took our own moose hunting seriously, and there was just nothing. And I'm like, did we get transported to another province or something?
There's 275 moose, 275,000 moose on this rock.
That's what I'm saying.
Where did they go?
What happened to them all? Yeah. Normally, you got to like slow down to avoid them.
Right.
So we got skunked anyways. And then brother ended up moving up here to Ontario.
So how old were you when you reconnected?
I would have been, excuse me, I would have been in my early 30s. So he would have been in his early to mid 20s, because I'm like 4 years older than him, I think. Yeah. And then we kind of floated around doing that though for like 6 years, but never really got anywhere with it. We just didn't. The problem is we didn't take it seriously enough when it wasn't moose season.
Oh, okay.
We always just went on the, oh yeah, we'll just go out and we'll get one.
Like David the scouting.
Yeah.
January 1st.
Prep. There was no prepping. Wow, we're not fucking January 1st. We're not doing none of that
I know.
shit.
I know. He's a unit.
But some preparation is extremely vital. And we were brand new at it, right? like I say, I mean, we watched our dads do it, but that doesn't exactly equate to firsthand knowledge, right?
Right.
As far as the actual hunt process is concerned. It might be a little different for CJ. I'm sure the old man there would have let him do a bit more. But whatever. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't actually meet them till I was 17.
Okay.
So he would have been 13. Yeah. But then when archery really took off for me would have been 2021. No, yeah. Yeah, 21.
When you were both living in Ontario?
Yeah. I brother had moved up here in like 18 or 19. And then I moved up in 21. We were working together in Guelph. And we were just driving around one day. And we were just visiting like outdoor stores and hunting stores. And we popped into Shooter's Choice.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, man, look at, holy cow, compound bows have come a long way.
Yeah.
Because like the last time I took a serious look at a compound bow would have been probably like 2012.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that's,
A little bit of technology changes.
big difference in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So he had already, when I moved up, he had picked up, was it a Z2 or a Z7 or something like that from Matthews?
Okay.
Something like that. That was a pretty cool bow. I really like that. It had an incredible reflex, like 6 miles of reflex, but everything did back then, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he convinced me to pick one up. I just went and grabbed like a Stinger Max from PSE, one of the single cam ones. And yeah, I got hooked real hard, real quick. And he then went and switched his bow. He got he went to an Embark after that.
Oh, right.
Buddy, I'm gonna tell you, that's probably dollar for dollar the best budget bow I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because what was that? Is it $600 or $700?
When that thing was new, it was $799.
$799.
And even after it actually like became popular, it only went to $999. But that thing was such a solid platform. And I will say, I could feel the similarities, even though I was in a Stinger, which is like their entry level.
Yeah.
Like I could feel the same lineage.
Right.
The grip was the same shape, like the geometry was relative.
Right.
And that just kind of got us fired right up. We were just shooting random little targets in the field at that point, just little blocks and stuff like that.
So did you buy them from Shooters, your first ones?
No, I actually bought my first one from Archer's Nook in London.
Oh yeah, I've ordered from them online. I've never actually been to the store.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little different. They're a great group of guys down there. They're very good at setup for your bow and everything. I just find it's a very like almost clinical feel when you go in there.
Oh. Okay.
It's just, yeah, I don't find it has like if you have questions that you need answers to, I feel that's the place to probably go.
Not really somewhere to hang around and
yeah. Yeah, Shooter's Choice. You can go in, you can sit down on the couch, you can have a yarn, you can go buy something, you can try it out. Like you could spend some time there and not feel like you're uncomfortable because there's maybe nowhere to sit or you might be in a customer's way. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just a little bit more retail.
Yeah, there's a gun store near here that recently closed down, and you'd walk in the door. They'd have to buzz you in, and then as soon as that door shut behind you, they'd be like, "What can I get for you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just want to look around." Like,
let's see what you got.
It was like,
what do you got?
They were very business. Like, what do you want? Like, what can we get you? Like, what? And then like get you the door, right? Like, it wasn't very much like just want to browse. I just want to look at shit, right?
I just want to find a store that has somehow figured out how to get all these other products that we don't get.
Yeah. I always toy with opening a store when I'm retired, but
I
then
know,
I
I
feel
think
like I'll
about it
never
too, but
then you'll never really be able to get out and do anything.
well, yeah, that's the other problem. But like all these other people have opened up these stores. They struggle to get the products too.
Yeah.
So what, how would we be any different, right?
Well, it's like you got to build a relationship and the accounts, and like you look at
Yeah, I
someone like
know, but
MFJJ. He's been doing it for so long with his dad starting it out. Like he can order crazy amounts of things, and they just know that he's going to sell it. Whereas guys like us that would open up something, they'd be like, you got to pay up front, or
no, I know,
at
but
least
even
pay.
like you take a look at shooters.
They got a lot of stock. It's
They
insane.
do. They got a giant amount of stock. And this is nothing against shooters because they stock the brands that are selling and are good. I get
Right.
that. It's at the end of the day, it's a business. I do remember that. But like you have to go in there with the mind of like, I have these brands to choose from.
Mm.
And this is
I
what
know what
makes
you
it
mean.
hard for the shops because every other shop around has the same brands.
Right.
Right. So there's not a lot of brand diversity for us.
Right. You almost want to
That's what I would like to see.
have a shop that has everything.
Yeah. Well, and this is where I kind of figure, as much as I hate to say it, this is where I figure a big box store like Cabela's would fill that gap
Right. But they only
because they're
bring
a
in
giant store, so they could buy whatever the hell they want.
right.
But they pretty much now only sell Cabela's brand for the most
Yeah,
part.
or they'll have like PSE and Diamond or something, right? Like it won't
Well,
be.
everything's blackout now,
Yeah. That's
which
true.
is made by Bear.
Bear,
Bear is gigantic.
I know, and I want to be nice because I don't have anything horrible to say because I've never shot a bear bow, but I find that they have overtaken the entry level budget bow market,
Oh, yeah.
and then when they
That like
put it
Alaskan XT
right,
and, there's a couple of the new ones.
but
Whew.
when they put out a flagship, I feel like it doesn't get the attention like
No.
the other flagships because they're known so much for the other models.
Yes, I completely agree. When they put out a nice budget conscious model, it's a banger and
Yeah,
everybody loves it. I don't even know what their flagship model is,
no,
but I know that Alaskan XT apparently shoots like a gangster for
yeah,
$6.99.
made some
You know what I mean?
made some waves for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So archery hunting now has kind of become my only thing. I sold all my guns.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't own any firearms anymore. It's just a compound bow.
Mhm.
So
So where'd you go after the PSE then?
after the
After
PSE,
the
I
Stinger was.
got a Hoyt Defiant, a carbon Defiant.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that. I always wanted one of those.
That thing had the nastiest draw cycle ever.
That was 2016.
I believe so.
Yeah,
16 or 17.
yeah.
I got that one at Shooters. That I really did like that bow.
Is there a
Like
lot of
nice. Oh,
vibration
it
to
was wild. So I had absolutely cranked. I think it was at 77 pounds.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. 70-pound limbs, but cranked like no, just wherever they stopped.
Okay, get that bolt in there.
And yeah, it was 76 or 77, one or the other. But that thing was violent. It was, and which really surprised me because the cams, that was like the first gen maybe of the HBX
HBX.
cam,
Yeah,
and they
they're on
weren't
the
very big. They were pretty small.
yeah they're on the 4th generation now of that.
But man, like that initial breaking it free to pull it back. Holy.
So it's stacked at the beginning?
Oh, yeah, it was rough as dogs up front.
Yeah.
So I shot that for about a year. And from there, I went to a V3, Matthews V331.
Hmm.
That bow,
How did that compare?
oh, there was no comparison. That Carbon Defiant might as well have been a bag of rocks. I really did enjoy that bow. That V3 was fantastic. I shot it really well. I was quite accurate with that. All along I was shooting CBE sights.
Yeah.
Like tactic hybrids, engages, all of them, just cycling through them. I shot the V3 for like 2 years. I shot that for a good while.
You're also the only person I know that liked the engaged grip.
Yes. Yes. I heard about it everywhere I went. Everywhere I went, everybody was like, Jesus, you didn't change that grip? I'm like, no, man, it's good. What's wrong with this? Like, just put it in your hand, you pull it back, it's work. It's good. So yeah, I had that, and then from there, I went to the Core SS that I have right now from Bowtech.
Yep. And how does that compare to the Matthews?
So I find it is more surgical.
Okay.
I guess would be a better way to say it. I feel like it is a higher degree of engineering and finishing and machining.
Okay.
Like I find if Matthews was an F-150,
yep,
the Bowtech is kind of like Cybertruck.
Oh.
Not to say that like it's brand new crazy technology. It's a wildly different.
But it's packed full of technology though. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
That Matthews, you couldn't tune nothing. Right? Like everything was complete disassembly, shims old school, like
yeah.
It was a dog to tune. I never actually did. I never even shot that thing through paper in 2 years.
No?
No, not once. I still haven't even shot my Core SS through paper.
Don't they do that? Do they do that at shooters?
You can.
Okay.
You can. Oh, no, that's a lie. I did, yeah. I shot 3 arrows at shooters when I first picked it up. Just to get... I had the bottom left here, I believe.
Yeah.
That's something I got to get more into is tuning.
Paper tuning?
Well, just tuning in general. Like I have a bow that you can essentially tune everything with nothing but an Allen key. So, yeah, I probably should.
Should get a paper tuner. The ones
that
hang from your ceiling.
Yes.
You put it in the bunkie.
I know somebody who did a good review on one of those.
Oh, who's that?
I believe it was you.
I know a guy. Hey, we're going to be giving some of those away.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I found going back to stores and like trying to steer you in a direction. I remember when I was looking for a Prime because I was so hooked on Prime from watching all those Solo Hunter episodes. I'd go into some stores and I'd be like, I didn't see any. Do you guys have Prime? And they'd be like, why would you want to shoot that? Shoot a Hoyt.
Yeah. Yeah, why?
What? And it's like, well, because I used to have a Hoyt. It's great. I loved it. But I want to try something else out now. You know, and it's like, you know. So yeah, I know what you mean about it. It'd be nice to find just a massive. Maybe it's Lancaster. We haven't been there yet.
I guess, but that's what I mean. Like, we need to get a Lancaster
here
of Canada, like a Lancaster version in Canada. Like my dream of a bow shop, like it'd be all segregated by rooms, and each room would be a brand.
Oh yeah.
You walk into this room, and there's all the Hoyt bows,
Yeah.
and there's 3 shooting lanes and 2 tables with vices on them. Like, this is the Hoyt room. You want to come try out some Hoyts? Let's set them up. Let's try them out. Oh, you don't really like it because of this? Okay, well, these other bows are the opposite of that. Let's go to the room 2 doors down. We'll try out some of those.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
yeah, I think MFJJ's Nashville North store is kind of like that. They've got like Matthews section. They got a Hoyt section. It's kind of like that where it's
but that's what it should be, right? Like, it's tricky because you can. I mean, I hand it to Shooter's Choice. They're making use of every square inch of space they have,
and it's kind of marvelous putting them.
Oh yeah, it's a super smart idea.
Right above your head, right? You
the
can look at them.
only issue I have with that is if it was hung up and you had like bows together. I find when you have all these bows together hung up on the ceiling, you can't see the wood through the trees.
You can't visually compare them, yeah.
Right, because they're either looking at you face on technically, right? Like from where the face of the bow where you'd mount your sight is technically right at you. So comparing profiles and stuff, because like I've heard you say on this show, you gotta like the look of it if you're gonna use it.
You fall in love with it visually first, just like when you meet people, right?
If you don't like the look of it, you're just not gonna want to pick it up.
That's right. So what's your arrow setup gonna be for this year? Have you landed on a
I'm not gonna change until just before fall hunting season. So right now I'm running Black Eagle Rampages.
Yeah.
I just cut them down. I haven't weighed them yet though, and I keep forgetting I have to do that because I took out about 3 inches.
Oh yeah.
Of arrow. Yeah, for some I don't know why I had these giantly long arrows. I don't know what I was doing. But cut it out, cut them down, and they were only at 438 to 440. So if because I'm only 27-inch draw length, right?
Right.
And that's pushing it, pushing it.
On a good day.
If I had quarter-inch adjustments, I think 26 3/4 would actually be it.
Right.
Well, my Matthews, I was 26.5.
Okay. Yeah. So you were. I always thought it was the opposite. Wasn't Matthews usually longer? Or shorter.
Was for me anyway. I was 26.5 with the Matthews, and then now I'm in the Bowtech 27.
Right. So if you could pick anything on the market today as a setup.
Oh, there's only one choice.
Money, no option. What is it?
One choice. 5.0s with the half outs, 125 grain tips.
But what about for a bow?
Oh, for a bow?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it would be the Virtue.
The Virtue,
yeah. Just because to me, that is like for being in a tree.
What's the actual? Is it 31?
I'm pretty sure it's a 31.
Yeah.
So it's got the right length, but it's 3.6 pounds.
And it's got titanium.
All titanium hardware.
Yeah.
So let it rain. Yeah, let it rain. Who cares?
I know. Why isn't everybody doing that?
Well, I honestly think that some of the bow companies are really realizing, like, yeah, we could make that, but only so many people can buy them.
Yeah.
Because they got to charge a fortune for them. I'm sure the process of machining that style of alloy is much more complex.
Yeah, it's like I heard Casey from Sevr on another podcast. Somebody was saying, "Why didn't you make the whole thing out of titanium? Why just the ferrule?" He's like, "Because it's going to cost you $50 a broadhead."
Single one would be like $80.
It's not whether it can be done or not. It's would anybody buy it?
Yeah. No, I'm kind of like, I try to be a happy medium guy. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the marketing. I love the ads and commercials and the cool shit
It's
that's
sucked in.
everybody is making.
Sucked
Okay.
in. Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell you that something new you just bought is garbage,
Yeah.
because everything nowadays is good.
Yeah.
You just got to use it for what it's meant to be used for.
Yeah. You
But
can't.
I try to be an old reliable guy, right? This is why I'm struggling so hard with the thoughts of leaving a fixed broadhead and going to a mechanical,
Ah.
because I know that the fixed blade works.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I know that the mechanical works.
Oh,
I've seen
nowadays,
you
yeah.
do a bunch of testing. I've seen lots of other people do a bunch of testing. By the way, those videos were fantastic to watch. I
Oh,
gotta
thank you.
say.
Which one do you like better, the mechanical or the fixed blade?
um, I think for the cinematic of it all,
Yeah.
I liked the mechanical better, just because it was a more diverse kind of like visual when it would enter
Right. Yeah. You
when it would
definitely
enter into the ballistics, Joe.
saw it was more of a show.
But
Yeah.
those what are they called again? The G5?
Oh, the T2.
No,
Oh, the
the
dead meat.
fixed one.
Oh,
That one that's like 3 triangles on it.
oh yeah. M3 Montec.
M3 Montec, right? When I saw you blast that one in through, I
Yeah.
was like, "Good sweet Jesus."
Yeah. I think this is one of my favorite profiles for
Like,
fixed blade.
I'm really struggling not having those and just using those.
Yeah, they're great. Nothing wrong with that.
I
It's
know I'm not shooting anything past 80.
right.
I know I'm not shooting anything in a gale of wind.
Right.
So, it could be
Is it,
okay.
yep. I think it's $60 for 3.
And see, that's reasonable.
Yeah,
I can get behind that.
for sure.
But why do they only ever come in threes?
I don't know. It's it's like hamburger hot dog buns and hot dogs. They're never in this thread.
Yeah. Like I like how you and Casey from Sevr were talking about how you can buy one
Yeah.
or you
They're
can
both,
buy 7.
yeah.
Like, that's nice.
And that you can go across the, like if you want one 2.0 and one
Right.
1.75 and one hybrid,
Now
you
you
could do
just
that.
had the 1.5 hybrid in your hand, didn't you?
Yeah, this one here.
Don't cut yourself this time.
No,
Last
no,
time
no.
you were touching broadheads on the show with me, you cut
Yeah, I
yourself.
sliced. Yeah, that was the T2. That's over there. Yeah. So this guy, because of the bleeders, you're getting like a 4-banger punch of a hole,
I
right?
know. That's
So it's
super nice.
like the way he was describing it, like it's like a bayonet, right? It
Right.
just can't close,
Yeah.
which is
And see, this is kind of where I've been at. I rewatched your videos. I rewatched a few other videos, and this is pretty much where I've landed now, is the 1.5 hybrid.
yeah,
I would love to see a 1.75 hybrid.
they're
If
coming out with 3 new ones this year.
I know, but like, I have to wait. The problem
Yeah,
is they're not coming out with the first one of the new releases until May. Well, guess what?
right.
Bear season starts May 1st.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
it's not lining up with my schedule.
that's right. Yeah, they're pretty bulletproof, and I love the fact that you can put a screw in it, and that's your practice head. The same thing that
That I
you,
really like, because then you buy however many you need for your arrows, and you just buy one extra, and you never ever take the screw out. You just
yep,
always use that as your practice arrow.
yep, you do that, yep,
I think that's a fantastic idea.
yep. He even said there's people that will reuse the ferrule and just replace the blades every year or
Yeah.
resharpen. Yeah, so yeah, they're pretty wicked.
Yeah, if I do go mechanical, it's definitely going to be Sevr. from everything that I have seen and every quote and quip that I've heard from all the different companies, but all the other different companies,
Right.
It seems like, as far as performance is considered,
Yeah.
like just the everyday actual usage of them, it seems like they are in that conversation of the top broadheads.
Right.
That's the T2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's giant. That's the one that does that one flex too? No,
Oh,
that's the
so
Sevrs, right?
yeah, so this one's on a lock, pocket lock system where it's when it comes down and locks in here, as long as it's going straight, it's not going to unfold itself.
Right.
Whereas the Severs will pivot around things.
Right.
Right. But I just love it just clips, right? Just clips back in and you're
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah, like I remember I did buy a set of, I think, Rage Annihilators,
Okay.
and they had that like that black plastic clip, that ring that
Yep.
would like, oh, oh, good
Yeah.
Lord, how did people not be losing thumbs and pinkies and stuff on the
I
regular?
I know. I'm kind of curious to see what this does. The beast,
Dude,
because it's got that whole flexing thing too. But
dude, that thing is a monster.
yeah, it's a big one.
Whoa. See, that would almost concern me more because there's so much going on.
Oh, like internally?
Yeah, with the spring action and the lock for it and all these, there's a lot going on internally in a
Right.
very small space.
Right.
That's what makes mechanicals concerning to me. That's why normally, like when I looked at a mechanical, it would be like a rear opening. So as soon as it goes in, it's forced open by the
Right.
body, not by an
Right.
enhancement force, right?
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, like that.
Like the swacker.
Yeah.
Or
The
just
body of that animal forces those blades open,
yeah, and you
as
could
opposed to a little bit of pressure sets off a chain reaction that then makes them open.
right, and you could see in the gel like it would go in, and then like about a half an inch to an inch, it would get huge, right?
Yeah.
Because it takes that just takes a second, but once it's
Well, there's
open,
that little shock wave, right?
yeah,
Once the tip finally hits whatever it's actually going into, there's that little like push away of it because of the air pressure. So there's really nothing to open them until they get closed back up and inside.
right. And then of course this little guy, so inconspicuous.
I know, and they've always been in the conversation for me. That's the dead meats there.
Yeah, the
Like,
mega meats are like out to here. They're a bit longer.
they're
But
so big. And the mega meats are 4 blades, right?
no, I think they're 3,
Is it still 3? Okay.
but it's just that they're
Just giant.
gigantor.
But these are the other ones that were always in the conversation for me because, again, they're just a simple rear opening. Like, there's not a whole lot of extra going on there.
Right.
Like me.
The only complaints I've heard from people is that the blades can be kind of flimsy. But they're tried and true. They work. You know, you can't.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
undeniable. You know, like you see these people taking shots, and just the blood trails are just absolutely insane. I think that's the biggest thing that I want, especially for bear hunting, because of
Bear is so tricky with all that
my
fat, man.
my track record with bears.
Listen, that's
Hunt.
not just going to be you. That's
No, I
it
know.
doesn't, and that's not even just an archery thing, man. I know of lots of people that have taken a bear with a rifle and no blood.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll find the bear still, but found no blood, like no real trail. That
Yeah.
fat is so sticky and viscous that
Mhm.
it just closes back up again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
I can't wait to get a bear. I want that robe, man.
That's right. You were saying, explain to everybody what that is. We've talked about it before,
The
but
bearskin house coat. The hood
and it,
is his head. Yeah, man. Think of like remember those little training gloves for boxing that you'd put on? They didn't actually have any palms to them.
yeah.
We'll have little hands on them and everything so I can put them in. You imagine, going out to check the mail,
Rawr.
going in the backyard, shoot a few arrows.
So
Freak people out.
you guys are planning. You and CJ are planning a couple of bear trips this year.
Yeah, so we're looking for a trip we're going the first week of May and the first week of June.
Okay.
I know you can't come to the first week in May, but you should
One
come
of
to
them
the
I can't.
first week in June.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going up north, man. We're gonna hit it. We're gonna go for a walk.
The old spot and stock.
Yeah, we're gonna really hit it old school. We're super looking forward to it. Actually, it's gonna be it's very similar terrain to home too. It's not quite as rugged,
Right.
but it's gonna be very similar
Less
in some of
boggy.
the rolling hills. But yeah, it'll be drier still, and
Right.
because Newfoundland, it's like the contrast, right? You're either in the middle of the bog or it's solid rock,
Right. There's no in between.
or you're on a sandy beach, or you're in a mile and a half deep of water. Like, I love it, but it's such a weird place, man.
One of a kind. One of a kind. And the tag system over there, you're almost guaranteed a moose tag every 2 years. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
I hate to say almost guaranteed because, I mean, there have been people that have gone 3 and 4 years without getting a tag. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
super rare.
Yeah.
If you're consistently applying and you're consistently being successful, you will get a tag every second, third year for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll get one a couple years in a row. That happens too. I know a guy, Wilf Holloway, my old neighbor on Second Ave. Shout out to him. I hope you're still alive, because he's pretty old. But 38 years in a row, he got bull only Taylorsbrook.
Whoa.
I could not believe it.
So Taylorsbrook, is that one of the more popular spots to go?
For our region, it is. Yeah, for our region, the two most popular areas are Taylorsbrook, and then the rest is in Goose Arm. Goose Arm is kind of like the other side of that highway. Then Gross Morn is the next one, but that's a bit up the road again too, and that's a whole different set of rules for hunting.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you can't have a machine in with you. You can't bring in like a chainsaw to help you.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's super restricted. The season starts a month later and runs a month later.
Oh, wow.
It's you can get some monsters in there, but I just don't want the administrative hassle.
Yeah, you really got to know the regulations for the area that you're in, no matter where you are.
Yes. Oh yeah, big time. And it's true, but it's almost a little extra forgiving in Newfoundland because the WMUs are so friggin' big.
Oh, they're spaced out a fair bit.
Well, they're huge, man. So I grew up hunting in Area 7, whereas brother would have been in Area 4.
Okay.
And 13. So 4 is Taylorsbrook, 13 is Goose Arm, and then 7, excuse me, is George's Lake. Or no, geez, what am I talking about? I'm having a brain fart now. Grand Lake. A giant man-made lake to feed a dam that we have that feeds the pulp and paper mill.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole big infrastructure thing that runs between two cities that are 35 minutes apart. It's a thing. Again, we don't do anything the easy way back home. Not at all. But I mean, those areas they're gigantic. I mean, it would probably, I think it takes about, well, Area 7 still goes up by Pasadena and up by Pins Brook, right up through, really. So that you're looking at like about 100 kilometers wide for sure. And you're looking north, it gets wild because there's nothing there.
What kind of elevation is it? Like, do you know?
It's not too wild. You can get into some pretty gnarly stuff in Newfoundland. Like if you go in the Bloemfontein mountain range, it gets mountainous. I'm surprised there's no goat.
Yeah,
I really am. I know it's an island and all that stuff, and it has been for essentially its whole life, but I'm really surprised there's no goat.
Yeah,
they do great, man. You drop some goat off up in Bloemfontein Mountains, they do fantastic.
And then whereabouts are the caribou?
So the caribou are out Taylor's Brook way. They're kind of on the opposite end of that highway. That's going to be more Buckins up that way, Gaff Topsails.
Right.
So there's a train track now. Since the train stopped running, they turned it into basically a nature trail. So you can drive right across the whole island on ATV or side by side.
Like they ripped the tracks out?
Yeah. Everything's been taken out. It's just basically a like a rock bed. It becomes the groom trail for skidoos in the winter.
Just want to take a quick break to talk to you about a couple of things that I've been using that I think might benefit you. One is this Numa Outdoors gear. This is in their Casa OV pattern, which is great whitetail pattern when you're up in a tree in the fall and late season. They also have a Casa pattern which has more green in it, which is good for spring through to the fall. Numa has given me a code to give to you of Caribou Media 20, which will save you 20% at checkout. Another product here that I've been using for years now is the Bulldog targets. This is a Canadian made target. They're made in Manitoba. They have a lifetime warranty. I've used that warranty twice now on a couple of my larger targets that are outside. It's very simple, very easy. These targets are 2-finger removal every single time, which is incredible. Field point only target. Bulldog's been gracious enough to give me a 20% discount code to give to you at checkout. Use code BD20-caribou-media. That'll save you 20% on these awesome targets. Now back to the show.
So we could literally leave from Deer Lake, hop on that sucker, drive for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe at most on quad. And we'd be up to Gaff Topsails and we'd be ready to go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We could take a truck most of the way, actually. It's pretty good. We used to do a lot of duck hunting up that way. Not that we get much ducks. Newfoundland sucks for birds, man. Good if you want to grouse hunt, partridge, stuff like that, like more upland bird. But as far as migratory, you only get a few stragglers that go through.
And then how'd the podcast all come together for you guys?
So this is actually our second podcast that we had. We had one called My Brother's Joint for, I don't know, about a year. And it was basically just us and our buddies talking about anything. We had no real direction. You know, we would just get on and like
shoot the shit.
We'd just talk about whatever came up, whatever anybody wanted to talk about. We did that for, like I say, about a year, and we liked it. But again, we started to feel like, you know, like, what are we doing here? Like, this isn't really, there's no plan.
Right.
It's just, and it was getting boring to do it. We weren't looking forward to doing it because we didn't have a goal, right?
Right. No direction.
So what really set it off in my mind, anyways, I can't necessarily speak for brother, was the first time I went to a 3D course. Like I said, when we first started, we were just hitting some block targets in the field up at, remember when we had breakfast at Town and Country?
Yeah.
In back behind there, we were just up there shooting blocks. And brother came to me, he's like, hey man, like, you know, like we could go shoot this course. It's like 3D targets, like little animals made of foam. I'm like, oh yeah, let's do that.
And when was that? When did you first start that?
That was in 21 as well. That would have been probably like June or July. The first time I shot 3D was at Waterloo County Bowman. It's a great course. Lots of elevation changes, nice walk, pretty cool spot. And once I did that, we both started really kind of getting into archery.
Yeah.
And not just like shooting for something to fill the time, but getting into archery. So we kind of decided, you know, like let's make this show, let's change it. Let's make an archery oriented show.
Right.
And we'll include our hunting adventures because we'll be doing that with our bows. Excuse me.
That's good.
I'm dying.
Oh, you're dying. No dying. Not allowed to die. Jeez, I haven't had a guest die yet.
First
your brother was coughing too. He was almost ready to die.
Well, like you, I'm just getting over being sick.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We're back live in studio. Where was I?
3D shooting.
Right.
It's the first time you shot 3D.
Right. So we decided to make the show about that. And that's really what brought us to doing the show with like a serious orientation, because we got there and we started realizing how much fun we were having. And we started to meet some people such as yourself. And yeah, we just didn't look back anymore. We figured we're always talking about it.
Yeah.
We're always doing something with it. So let's do a show about it. And yeah, it's super fun. It doesn't matter to me if we have 1 listener or 1,000.
Yeah.
The fact that anybody downloads the show and actually takes the time to listen to it makes me just want to do another one, right?
Yeah, you guys are doing really well now.
Yeah, now it's doing again better than I had ever anticipated. It's not like we're getting, you know, like 100,000 downloads or nothing like that, but we're doing pretty good. Nice. We're doing better than I thought we would, like I said.
Yeah, I think I heard about you guys probably from Dave. That's the other place I go. Probably from Dave, and then I started listening.
Dave's.
And then I think you guys had mentioned watching one of my videos or something, and then I think we started talking on Instagram, and then we met at that boob shoot at the
yes,
2
at
years
the
ago.
first one, yeah.
And I remember walking into the store, and I heard you guys first. You were at the back.
Shocker.
talking, and I'm like, oh, I can hear them. Oh, there they are. Yeah. And then, like 3 weeks later, we were in my truck driving down to TAC.
Yep, pretty much. That's just about how it went. Yeah. Now that was an experience and a half too.
Oh, dude!
Holy cow! I need to go to that with 3 times the money.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. It's what a great idea.
I know. It's pretty good. You know, we should do something like that
up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure
Oh, wait,
they're
we
gonna be
are.
all over that.
We are going to do something like that.
We're doing something similar, yes.
Another couple weeks, buddy. Well, not couple, a few weeks.
It's coming up fast, eh?
Yeah, man. Like, we're what, third week of March now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow's the 21st, I guess. So,
Jeez.
I mean,
The full Draw Caribou Cup
yeah, it's going to be sick.
times
I had a
3.
blast last year.
Oh, that was so much fun.
I mean, and that was one. Right?
Yeah.
Now we're going to see, and it's kind of bringing I know it hasn't been that long because we've only been doing the show for 3 years, but it's kind of like bringing things around, coming full circle, because now we're going to start to get used to seeing the same people at our tournaments.
Right.
And they're going to be like, hey, man, like, oh, I love what you did at this one. It's so much better than the last one. Or, you should do that thing from the last one. That was cool. We're going to start to meet these people on a regular basis and establish more connections and more relationships. And
yeah. Well, I think that's something I always wanted to do, the tournament thing. I always wanted to try 3D, but I didn't have anybody to go with, and didn't know if I was going to go on my own or not. I was hemming and hawing and going back and forth about it. And then when I met you guys, it was just natural because you guys were already doing it. So I tagged along. And it's so not even the, I don't know, 3 or 4 that I went to last year. It was like you saw the same people at every one. Like everybody, it's like just a homecoming of new friends that you make, right? It's cool.
I don't know how some of them do it. Like they must be they're at a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was kind of working hard, and I mean I know I'm driving pretty far, but like these people are at all the tournaments I go to, and while I'm at those tournaments, I hear them talking to other people about the other tournaments that they went to that I missed.
Well, that's another thing I think I want to try to do next year when we do it again, is we should spread it out across. Because I know
across the season.
No, like distance wise.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know a lot of them that we're doing are in the same area.
Yes.
Which is fine. But it seems to be where they all happen anyway. But there are people out this way and even out near you that will flock to events like this if they're on. So
yeah. Oh, I know a spot we can do it out here for sure.
So I think it would be cool if we kind of branched across.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea that I always had, was to make sure that we don't just do the same courses every year.
Yeah, no.
Because these are fundraisers for local ranges. So we need to spread it all around.
Yeah.
Like give everybody some of that.
Right.
And that's from here on, like stay in Ontario.
Oh yeah. But just like, we do one out in the West End, we do, one around me, and we do one around you, something like that. That'd
big,
be cool.
Small, doesn't matter. Like,
but
we prefer some of the smaller ones just so we can give them a little boost of support.
But I also find the farther, well, at least, like I think York would probably be the closest one for me.
Probably, yeah. That's a big club.
But there's not a lot. It's weird.
No, like the other thing that you have to worry about too is some of them, like you can't park 150 people.
Right.
You might be able to only park 15 to 20.
Because you had 80, was it at that one around?
It was like 72, I think, was the final number, something like that.
And that was like
getting close. I think we might have been able to push maybe 90 people.
Yeah.
But I think 100 and we would have been like, whoa, everybody's got to slow down.
That's right. Watch around you, watch where you're shooting. Don't shoot.
Yeah, like so again, it's probably not out of the realm of possibility in the future for people to see pre-registration for specific ones, just because they're going to be limited to how many people we can house.
Yeah. That's always going to be a factor, right?
Yeah,
but
that's where we're going to get our diehards, though. See, the people that are doing the full circuit, because they want to become a grand champion. Those
Right.
people will stick them out.
And they want all the badass prizes that are behind me.
I know, we got boxes
everywhere.
It's crazy. I can't believe it. Like, I have to say, man, like the responses that we've gotten, even the ones that were
Huge.
no,
Right,
they have been great. People have been like, hey, you know what? Great to hear what you guys are doing. Love to see it, but unfortunately this year we can't.
We're maxed out.
No sweat, no problem, man. Thanks for even answering me back.
Yeah, because a lot of the opposite happens, right?
Yeah, just pure ghost.
Yeah, poof.
But I mean, these companies have been fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait to see the shooters that show up and then they look at the tables and just be like,
what in the
where did we come to? Is this a store? Like, is this like an auction or something? Like, these are just like, it's gonna be wicked.
Yeah, it's gonna be something else. And the first one, May 18th at Royal City Bowman.
Ooh, yeah.
The second one, we're confirming. Did we confirm it yet?
I don't think it's 100% confirmed. We do have the location confirmed.
Okay.
We're still teetering on a date, but the second location is Galt. Yeah.
And
so
then
that'll be in June.
And then September 6th is Elmira Rod and Gun for the grand finale.
Yeah. It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be a couple targets farther than what you're used to shooting.
Oh yeah. Do not come to our shoots expecting ASA or IBO rules. They will be loose interpretations of such.
I'm gonna stretch it out a bit.
Yeah, like it's not to say that we're gonna like pump every shot as far as we can possibly make them. We're certainly not gonna. There's still gonna be a full range of yardages being done, but you might have to stand on a stump, or you might have to sit in a chair, or you might have to do something weird.
Right.
Whatever.
But what I found was doing the only few that I did. There's a lot of strict rules with these things, right? You can only go a certain distance. People are very stickler to certain things and sticking to the rules. And it's like when we did yours last year, everybody was raving about the targets that were outside of the norm, right?
Yeah.
A buffalo that was like the buffalo
70
was at like
or something,
70 yards, and the moose was at 80.
Yeah.
And everybody loved it. I didn't hear anybody bitch about, oh, this is bullshit. They're not sticking to the right.
No, because we made it clear to everybody, like the big difference between us and your standard tournament that you're going to go to is when you go to a standard tournament, they're probably reporting the winners and all these other things for standings. It's probably part of Archery Ontario or Archery Canada or what have you.
Right.
We're beside all of that. We're kind of like TAC is to the States, whereas we're just come out. Yeah, your numbers are still going to count towards prizes, towards winnings and standings and stuff. But this is for fun. This is to come out and have a laugh and enjoy doing what we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So don't come out being like, oh, you went over your time limit. You can't shoot anymore. Like, because I'll kick you off the course myself. We're just out to have a good time. Everybody's there to be safe, respect each other. It's going to be great.
Yeah. What did you think of the gear you used this year? Is there anything that stood out that you came across that you really liked? Whether it be your clothing or something else?
My platform, I love.
For the saddle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one? That's a cruiser?
I got the Cruiser Seeker. So that's the full size one.
Okay.
I didn't like how it was so shiny. So I painted it. instantly 100-fold better. But that thing, you can stand on that sucker all day.
Yeah.
And with them nice angled spots for the arches of your feet, and that just the way it kicks you down without making the angle so tight that it impedes circulation.
Yeah.
It is so comfortable. I got the knee pad that's clip around the tree.
Oh, the one pad? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Something else, eh?
I go for a nap. Go for a nap.
Oh, yeah.
No problem. Just spread your knees, come into the tree, have a yarn.
Like, yeah, I remember looking at the XOP Invader platform that I have, and I was like, how the hell am I going to be comfortable on this thing? It's like this big.
Yeah.
And then you get up there and you're like, oh, this is
fucking...
And like you said, the cutouts and like different spots to put your feet. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like,
yeah.
So good.
There's a reason why I'm not an engineer, you see. I wouldn't know to think of all that.
No.
But that's probably my favorite piece of this year. I was kind of disappointed with their bag.
Okay.
The escape pack.
Yeah.
Like, I knew the size of it going into it, but I was hoping the dimensions were done in a different way. So it's real tricky to properly outfit your bag anytime after the snow starts. You'd need a bigger one, plain and simple.
Is there one that you got your eye on?
There's just a bag, well, there's two. For early season, I'm thinking about that Mystery Ranch. Was it the 19-liter one? It's more like a hip, like a waist pack.
Oh,
but it's got like a across the chest. Oh, of course you got one. This guy, I'm telling you, I talk about a Mystery Ranch bag. He's like, oh yeah, it's over there in the corner. Let me just let me go see for a second. I'll be right back. Here he comes.
What'd you say?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Yeah, that's the one. That's the Treehouse 9 or something.
9. Yeah.
I think for early season, that thing would be the cat's ass.
Hold on. Let me do this.
Yeah. That thing is super slick.
Yeah. I think it'd be good for turkey too.
Yes, it would be for sure.
Magnetic.
Well, it's just so cool the way you can turn it around on your body without having to take it off.
Right.
That I thought was the slickest part.
Yeah, but they took it off their website.
I know. What's the deal with that? That's like the Pintler. That's the main bag, like for filming and doing media in the woods. Yeah. Like, I look at that Pintler and the way it opens and the way the pockets are laid out. That stuff is just made for camera gear.
Yeah.
But again, that one's off the website too. I don't get it.
And it's got like a surgical. It's like it almost looks like a
like when you have
an autopsy.
Yes, that Y incision. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could just. I think you can just zip the top.
Yeah, you can flip up just the top, or you can open them all.
That's gone from the website?
I didn't see it the last time I was there. I was kind of bummed about it.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens as Yeti has taken over.
Right.
Are they going to keep things going and just slap their logo on it, or are they going to completely abolish the Mystery Ranch thing? I don't know.
For what my opinion's worth, which is probably about as much as 8 grains of salt, if I was Yeti, I would take over the hiking and casual line.
Yes.
And leave Metcalf bags leave Mystery Ranch to the hunting world.
Yeah.
It is established. It is well liked and received. Everybody knows it's a good brand.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Buy it. Don't mess with ain't broken.
That's right. They took years to build this up.
Right. But the more hiking stuff and the more casual stuff, Yeti's already kind of dipping into.
Oh,
so just take that part over.
Pintler's still there.
Oh, good. Good. How much is that again?
$669.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, folks at home.
Yeah. Well, Jason Matzinger told me he ran this bag exclusively for a very long time. Yeah. He loved the Pintler.
I can see why.
Because it's a good size.
Well, you could still put that in a tree with you.
Yep.
It'd be a little hefty, but you could still bring that up in the tree with you.
2,355 cubic inches.
Yeah, so that's like, 45 liters?
Still got a frame, so you can still haul stuff out with it.
Yeah. Like for whitetail?
Yeah. The absolute best whitetail pack that I've used thus far is the Treehouse 38.
Yeah, that's a super nice bag.
Thing is a stunner.
That's super nice.
Just the material is so soft.
Yeah.
You are whisper quiet in there. I love how the lid just folds open. It's got that dual pocket on the outside, which is on the inside, that you can access from both spots. It's got multiple outside pockets. It's got the stretchable one on the front.
And I like how it's very square.
It's got like a square.
It's got a shape.
Frame to it.
You know what I mean? There's a form. You look at a lot of the bags, like once you take them out and you unpack and you do the things, like they just go blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they just turn into a thing of goo, right?
Yeah.
Like this bag that holds its shape, you can still manipulate things without having to physically hold it.
And the fact that you zip down the sides and it only opens to 45 degrees. So you don't have a yard sale and all your stuff comes flying out.
When you're 18 feet in the air.
That's right. Oh, shit.
There goes my call. There goes my antlers. Damn it.
And then you can just put your platform and your sticks on it. And it's even got little spots for, like, if you want to put rattling antlers on. Like, it's just... Now, it doesn't have, like, a frame where you could haul anything. But that's not what it's for.
No, but yes, that's not the purpose. Most whitetail, you just grab it by the antlers, pull it anywhere.
Right.
That'd put it over your shoulder, just gut it and throw it up over.
You got the Beartooth 85, is it?
6 or yeah.
Yeah. That's
the new one. Yeah.
The new Yeah, I have the old one. Actually, I sent it to my family out in BC that took me out for the elk hunt. But that bag is killer. Like,
well, that's going to become my go-to bag, basically.
And the upgrades,
that'll be for everything except for in the tree.
Yeah, and the upgrades they did, like they've got that other, it's like a second bag that's mushed up to the outside.
Yeah.
So you've got all that extra space, easy access front pocket. Yeah, it's so good.
Well, for like the real big hunts, like if we go back and do a moose or caribou, that's what that bag's for.
Oh, totally. That's like an expedition style.
That's a big old game bag.
Yeah. I did like the pop-up bags too. Like I had the pop-up 40. That's the one that's got like the telescoping thing. That was cool. The only complaint with that was there was so many clips on it to get.
That's what I struggle with, is all these clips and straps and stuff.
But the overall design and layout of the bag, I loved. Like it had once you got the lid up, they had like this shroud pocket that you could zip down and open up. It was really cool. I like it.
There's a lot of weird styles out there too. Like Badlands made a bunch of funky styles.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
What was their? Was it the 2200? Was that their big one for a while?
Yes, the Super Day. Yeah, that was their most popular for a good while. That one and the Diablo. Yeah. Then they came out with the MRK line. I have the MRK 2, which is a 55.
Okay.
55 liter. That's a real good bag, I will say. There's not much diversity as far as pockets. It's pretty much just a big open space. But brother had the MRK 4. which was that like pontoon design.
Okay.
Like it folded open as two big pockets,
Yeah.
big tubular pockets on the front, and then you could put everything inside and then close them up over top.
Oh,
Almost
cool.
kind of like the Pintler.
Yeah.
They're super cool bags, super tough, lifetime warranty on them and everything, but you just can't buy them. Yet again, another thing you just can't buy here.
I was always interested in their camo before we landed on Numa. Years ago, I really liked the
Badlands camo is super cool.
What's it called?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's gonna bug me now. People are yelling at the fucking radio right now.
You dummies!
How do you not know that?
But no, I agree. I like their brown one, their fall one was really, really, really nice. I have the XR vinyl pack.
Yes, I eyeballed that for a while too.
I really like that thing just because the rangefinder is built in right underneath.
Right underneath, yeah. It's got the magnet, yeah.
Yeah, for that it's super cool. I really do like that. The only problem I have with that chest pack is the exterior side pockets.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're fitting a couple sticks of juicy fruit in there. That's about it.
Yeah.
Like heaven forbid you got a bear spray or something.
Yeah, I just grabbed the marsupial one.
I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah, I bit the bullet and hopefully
I thought you were so hard on that Kifaru. I know you love
I
that
was.
Kifaru.
I was, and I still am. I still love it, but I wanted to try out another no magnet kind of design, and they have one, but it was out of stock forever. Like I was coming back all the time, checking. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy their enclosed magnet one. I haven't had a magnet one in a while. And they claim that they understand that there's a market for the no magnets, but they're like, you really don't need it. Like as long as people say with the GPS and the magnets and screw up your GPS and your compass. But they said as long as you
directly on the magnet.
Well, that's what they're saying. Like as long as you have your hand extended, you'll be fine. So I kind of wanted to go back and try that. So I picked. It's amazing, dude.
The marsupial one is super nice. I'm really looking at getting the new Vortex one.
Oh, the
newest one, the one they just put out, the Glass Pack Pro.
Glass Pack, yeah, and it's got all those attachments you can.
Yeah. I really want to get into that one. Yeah.
So much.
Well, I have like this Badlands one with a very unique camouflage pattern. I don't wear anything else that has it kind of sticks out, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, one thing
I'm trying to gear myself more towards getting into the solids as opposed to the camo patterns anyway.
How did you like the Numa stuff you wore?
I really do like it. It's great. It's hot. It's hot. I'll tell you that. If you need to stand still in the winter, wear Numa because it's hot. Literally, there's only like probably 2 quips I have to say negative. Not much venting.
Oh, okay. For the
like
pants?
armpits, pants, stuff like that. And make the clothes ambidextrous. Like I bought the brush guard pants, which I love.
Right.
Man, these pants are comfortable. And like they're the cut resistant thigh pads on them. Like these things are nice. But yeah, they have this pocket on the right thigh that's designed to be a miniature field pocket quiver. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
But I'm left-handed. So I can't use it.
You can, but it'll be awkward. Yeah.
But yeah, again,
those are nice
I mean
pants.
the build quality is great. The materials are great. It's all super quiet. Oh, that's a lie. There is one other problem that I have with Numa. The Ventus hat, like the beanie.
Yeah.
and the inside of the Ventus jacket hood do not interact well together.
Like the two different materials?
Well, they're almost the same material.
Okay.
They're both that fleecy, right? One of them is the hex and the brown, and then one's the exterior camel.
Yeah, that hex is amazing.
Oh, dude, so that works. I thought that was such a silly little thing. I was like, what do you mean all these little grooves are actually just going to spread all the heat around? Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Because that shit is hot. But I find if you're wearing that beanie and you put the hood up, they stick together.
Okay.
So then when you turn your head, you're almost turning your head inside your beanie.
And I love how the hood is cut.
That's back. Fantastic. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't have to wear the beanie hardly at all. Yeah. Because that hood is so good.
Yeah.
That's good. That was literally the first point I made to the wife when I tried the coat on when I first got it home. Because I saw the hood and I'm like, oh, great. It's this cutout, this design. And every other hood that I've ever worn that looks like it, it's this. I look like Kenny. Like it's just this massive monster hood with this little itty bitty eye opening. Yeah. I put it on and it comes right down beside, right over the temples. Yeah. And just cuts back. It's amazing.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
For that design.
I just love it's so bow hunting directed. Like, yeah, a lot of their stuff. So good.
Yes. And it's great because I was thinking about it too. For guys who shoot a wrist release.
Yeah.
The way, especially for the Ventus coat, with the thumb holes in the sleeve extensions, now you can put your wrist release over that sleeve extension instead of over the whole sleeve or inside the whole sleeve.
Yeah.
Now you're in an actual, your arm without interacting with the actual outer layer of the jacket. Like, that's perfect, man.
So good. Yeah.
I just need more money so I can buy more of it.
I know. I'm dying for that puppy to come back out.
I know, man. That thing is going to be key.
I'm going to have to get it in like the beluga color or the whatever the solid is.
I'm
just going to want to wear it everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. You're just going to want to wear it on the regular. Yeah. And that's another reason why I'm thinking of just getting solids, man. I'll just buy all my clothes in solids from Numa and just wear that all the time.
And they're great. I had to send actually both of my pants that I bought. I had to send them in for repair because that little incident I had going up the going up the screw-in pegs and one foot went forward and I went the other way. I felt
super bad for that because I'm the one who suggested them to you.
Yeah, it was all your fault. Anyway, and screw those bitches all the way in.
Same thing with sizing too. When I got my brush guards, it was weird. Just the thighs were too tight.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I got thunder thighs. I don't know.
Yeah, they fixed them up, no problem. Send them back.
Oh, I sent them back. They were like, yeah, no problem, man. Just send them in. Just make sure you put a note in the box saying what's going on.
Yeah. No
and right away they sent them right back. Boom.
Boom. Yeah. Bang. So that's good.
And it's nice because they also send you a receipt, even though there's zero cost. So that way, when you get to the border, you can say, look, see, I don't have to pay anything on these because they were free.
Right.
Because they were already bought. I already did this.
Yeah. Don't tariff me.
Oh, man.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? We had a bit of a discussion about this when it came out, but what did you think of the Prime form?
I want one.
Yeah.
I do.
In red.
Yes. Right? I absolutely do. I know I'm a guy who say, I stick with what I know and what works, and I don't like change. And this is a big change. Like, this is almost a departure from what we consider a compound bow, right?
Yeah. It's
that's what I mean. It's such a difference in design or a different way of applying the two materials together. Like, I could see it has the potential to crash and burn, but Prime is not the kind of company to put it out if it was gonna, or if it even showed signs of it. And Prime is also the only company, and I've said this on my show too, Prime is the only company who would have done it this way.
Yeah, I agree.
No other company have I seen other than Prime that is willing to go to the lengths that they will go to put out something different, to say, hey man, we're just trying new shit. We got to figure it out. This might work better than everything. Like,
we're being innovative.
Yeah, like the quad cam type thing and the center shot. Like, I've still yet to try a Prime because I've never been able to find one that's left-handed.
Well, there's gonna be one in your.
Yeah, I know.
Just won't be your draw length. That's all.
Whatever. I don't give a shit. I want to try it.
You pull it past your face.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my ear off with it.
Well, wow. Yeah, and how they're calling the where the carbon is, they're calling it AST. They're not calling it a carbon bow. It's advanced structure technology because they might put something else in there. They might not put carbon in there. You know what I mean?
Fair. It's just such a smart design too, though, because you could take that one platform and you could make that a 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 39, like,
yeah,
just by changing the rods, whatever they're made out of. Like, yeah, but I seen a few videos on it and I watched people, and everybody seemed to have very much the commercial review opinion of it. Like, time will tell. It feels pretty good, but it's too early to tell on such a new technology. Just, if you don't like it, people, just say it sucks. Shit. Just be honest.
Yeah, everybody that I've talked to has loved it, that has shot it, and they say it's almost like you're almost pulling the strings right off the cam. Like, it's just so smooth and you don't feel a thing when it goes off.
You see, I'm in for that. Like, I've been talking to brother and I've been doing things to the bow to make it faster.
Yeah.
I'm done with this performance side of the mod. Fuck that. Because they weren't kidding, man. When they said Core SS super smooth, when that baby's in comfort, that is butter. It is so dreamy to pull that bow back.
Cranking on your shoulder.
Just nice and easy, boof. And I'm 70 pounds.
Yep.
You put that thing in performance, man, that thing dumps like a train going off a bridge. Like, it's rough.
Wow.
It finishes like my Defiant used to start.
Oh.
Just rough. Build, poof. I don't like it.
Here we go.
Going back to comfort.
Oh, you're switching it out.
Oh, yeah, I'm going back to comfort for sure.
Yeah.
It's just way better. Like I say, I dropped probably 20 grain or about probably 20 grains out of my arrow just by shortening them.
Yeah.
So I'm down around 410 now.
You'll be
415. They're going to be flying good.
Yeah.
As long as I'm getting around, like, my goal is to get 280 feet per second.
Okay.
I feel like 280 with 125 grain broadhead is a very effective set of numbers. I know I'm probably going to be around 270.
That's still good.
But that's definitely going to do it because nothing against the ladies or the youth either. They're going out shooting 45 pounds and they're taking them.
Oh, yeah.
So I needn't worry too much, right? And this is the thing that I'm learning now that I'm getting out of. When I've only been into archery hard really for like 3 years or so. And I fell into that trap of like the new stuff, the cool stuff, get all these wild technologies, like just figure out what works for you and just ride that train.
Yeah.
For 3D, I get it. The technologies are always changing, but for hunting, man, find your happy place and just stay there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this how I do on the 3D course with an 80-pound bow this year.
Oh, right. That's right.
I cranked her up.
80 pounds with a 30. Yikes. You're gonna be shooting laser beams, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. You got yours in green, right?
Yeah, the morel green.
Yeah.
Same with the limbs. I didn't switch it up. I got the same color.
No,
So
it's gonna look sweet. But that red one, when I look at that red one, because it's a 35, right?
you can no, it's 34.
34. I look at that and I'm like, hello 3D bow.
Yeah.
Like, to me, so for me, I'm a short guy, right? So a 34, that's pretty long axle for me.
I think I won't know until it gets here, but I almost get the feeling like because the rods are straight, it almost makes it look longer than it actually is. Because when you look at the video, that video that you were showing us that somebody sent you, that looks a lot different than.
Yeah, when I saw that one, I was like,
more
is that a 31? Like, it's
yeah,
tiny.
it looks a lot smaller than what you're seeing in all the promo stuff, but we'll see. We'll see.
I'm super pumped to see it though, man. My hat's off to them for trying something so different.
Yeah.
They knew they were going to get a ton of shit for doing it anyways, but whatever, do it anyway.
Well, yeah, but it's like, here, we're going to show you how strong it is. Here's 1,400 pounds pushing down on the riser, and it just falls off the machine. Didn't even break.
Some of these companies are getting wild with their testing, man. They're going to be dropping them off buildings and stuff soon.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, people are like, oh, well, the rods are going to pull apart from the aluminum. So then they created a machine to actually pull on it, and they were hoping for 800 pounds, and they got 8,200 before they actually came apart. Like, come on.
I think it's okay.
I think nothing we're going to do to it is going to.
Well, I mean, you got to think, right? As a bow company designing a bow, they know how much stored energy is in that thing when it's at full draw.
Yeah.
They're not going to be sending out a product that's going to fall apart in your hands.
No.
Because they go out of business.
They'd sink the company. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
There's a reason why these things take 7 years to develop.
I know, right? It's crazy. I don't know how they do it. Those meetings that they have,
Staying on track and not getting confused and like bringing other projects into this project. And like,
yeah, is this ready yet? Nope.
That's what I mean. They must have such division between their teams. Like, there must be so many teams.
Yeah. Or I love the beginning of the promo video for it, and one of the engineer guys is laughing, and he's got a box, and he's like, look, this was the first one. It didn't hold together.
As you wouldn't expect, right?
Yeah. And then when I had Brian on here from Prime, he was like, yeah, we weren't sure if we really wanted to show that. I'm like, why not? That's so good to show where you came from.
That's exactly what you show.
That's
hey,
where
look,
you came
we
from.
Screwed this up a whole bunch of times. We went through 17 prototypes before we even were safe to like let random people fire it.
Yeah.
But that's the stuff I want to know. I want to know that it broke and that you encountered unexpected things. So that way I won't.
Right. Yeah. You did all the heavy lifting for me. So
yeah. That's what you're paying for, really.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just metal and carbon after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're cranking up on over an hour and a half here. Can you tell us a hunting story?
Tell you a hunting story. I'll tell you the shortest hunting trip story ever.
Okay.
Me and brother went out with my old man. The old man from Deer Lake. So his dad too.
His dad. Okay.
We go out. We're driving along. We were in Goose Island. We were driving for probably, an hour and a half. Because it takes a little while to get in too, right? And the woods roads in Newfoundland, man, like it's like a labyrinth.
Yeah.
They are crisscrossy, up the hill, down the hill, in the bog. They're everywhere. Because they're all scouting for wood, right? So we're in and we're going. I'm like, okay, I think this is a good spot. Let's get out. So we're going, getting geared up. Everybody's doors to the truck still wide open. Everybody's putting their stuff on, getting the guns out. All right, everybody's good. Everybody's got everything. Yeah, okay, let's go. I closed the door. I just closed the door.
Wham.
I didn't click. Not even a wham. Like just tunk. You know what I mean? Just close the door. The old man said, well, fuck this anyway. He took everything back off and got back in the truck. He said, come on, we goes. I said, what do you mean? What's wrong? He said, running around here for miles now. He slammed that fucking door.
Oh, come on.
I said, what? Sure enough, back in the truck we got. Back home. We're done.
No, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Bright and early in the morning. See, this was like, by the time we pulled over, it still wouldn't even quite light yet. Like, it was just duckish. You were just starting to actually see stuff.
How old would you have been?
Oh, shit. No, I was in my 30s.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I was full grown man. So was brother. And
Just
yeah, fuck this anyways, he said. No moose left brown air. You slam that door like that.
Wasn't he a smoker?
The old man? Oh, yeah.
Like while he was hunting?
Oh, yeah.
That's not a problem. But banging on the door.
I don't smell that. I said, don't smell that. I said, geez, but they can smell pretty good.
That's trauma right there.
Anything slam a door, forget it.
Wow.
Forget it. I said, oh, man, the bigger problem is you shutting off the truck.
Yeah.
Because they hear the truck come in. They don't care.
No.
Now all of a sudden it instantly stops. They know that's not normal.
It's the same with the ATVs. As soon as they turn off, they're like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Yeah.
This is why I want an electric ATV.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Segway makes a UTV, a side-by-side.
Okay.
That's electric. That would be pretty slick. Because there's no motor to shut off.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it hums like the fucking cars do.
Oh, like
that creeps me out, man. And then like when they're backing up, that boom, boom, boom. I'm like, what is that? I don't like it.
So you're never gonna shut a door like that again when you're
No, man, like it is wild. Like I've actually been like, I've caught myself when I was still in Newfoundland. I took my son out, Skylar, and like I was about to like, don't you fucking slam the door. But then I was like, no, just be calm. Just tell him, like, hey, buddy, make sure when you get out, just click. Don't slam your door.
That's traumatizing.
Like, that will forever.
Well,
and I was not a young person when that happened.
Well, the fact that he made you drive all the way at it, like that's
he was done.
You didn't do anything wrong, but you still feel like shit because your dad was so stuck on it. Yeah.
Oh man, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, now every door is, even when I'm at home, I pull in the driveway and I'm just like,
shit.
I get deer in my backyard too sometimes, so I just think to be quiet.
Yeah.
A couple years in a row now, I've had a doe come through, munching away. I'd love to take her, but it's kind of in town, you know.
Your neighbor will get mad.
Probably. They don't mind if I take a groundhog or something, you know, because they're always fucking up the plants. But
yeah. Well, thank you for coming on here. Let everybody
no problem,
know,
buddy.
It's gonna be the first of many, and we can put them back. So once we get talking on that gear, we just don't stop.
Yeah, we're super easy to find. Full Draw Podcast. We're on all the platforms for listening. We are putting the videos up on YouTube as well. Nice. Instagram, Facebook, everything is just Full Draw Podcast. I'm Brudder83, BRUDDER, like the way a Newfie would say it. That's me.
The one and only.
Yeah. I'm the loves you guy at the end of the show.
Yeah. I'm part of the show too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, man. Thanks a ton for having me. I can't wait to come back, and
be great.
I hope everybody that listens, if you can come out to our tournaments, come out, support our local ranges. Let's make everybody prosperous in 2025.
Yeah, and bring on the bears.
Ooh, yeah. I need a robe.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Bye.